Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mr. Weinkoff with Embrace Tutoring and Educational Services. Today we're going to be reviewing the SAT Practice Test 8, Math Section 4, questions 1 through 10. And this series of questions is going to be quick. We're not going to be showing all of the detailed explanations as we do in the other videos. Instead, we're going to be focusing on the strategy and getting through the section in actual test speed. Question 1 states, 1 pound of grapes cost $2. At this rate, how many dollars will C pounds of grapes cost? Well, I have a rate here, and I'm going to need to set up a proportion in order to figure out, well, what is C pounds over, let's say, X dollars? And I'm trying to figure out what this is. Well, the rate that I currently have is my 1 pound over $2. So if I were to cross multiply these, this would be 2 times C equals X times B. So 2C should be in the top or my numerator. So the answer to question 1 is going to be A when I multiply 2 times C. Question 2, Tracy collects, sells, and trades figurines, and she tracks the number of figurines in her collection on the graph below. Here's my graph. I'm going to use my question to guide me back to my graph. On what interval did the number of figurines decrease the fastest? Meaning that where is the greatest where's the greatest decline? Question 2 states, Tracy collects, sells, and trades figurines, and she tracks the number of figurines in her collection on the graph below. So here's my graph. I see it's increasing, then decreasing, increasing, then decreasing, then increasing. On what interval did the number of figurines decrease the fastest? Meaning that from a month to month, where did it decrease the fastest? And it looks as though this segment here from 3 to 4 is the greatest decrease between the months. So C is going to be my answer to number 2. In question 3, in a random sample of 200 cars of a particular model, 3 have a manufacturing defect. At this rate, how many of 10,000 cars of the same model will have a manufacturing defect? So once again, they give me a rate. They're asking me to solve for what is X over 10,000, and the previous rate that they're giving me is 3 cars out of my 200 will have this defect, and this is how many cars out of 10,000 will then have that defect. I'm simply just going to cross multiply. This becomes 3 times 10,000, which is 30,000, and this then becomes 200 times X. So here I have my 200X. I'm going to divide both sides by 200. This then becomes 30,000 divided by 200 equals X. And if I were to just knock off some zeros just to make my division a little bit easier, so 300 now divided by 2 is going to be 150, so 3 is A because X equals 150. For question 4, I see here that I have a graph, I have a line of best fit. Within my line of best fit, they give me the actual equation where I can plug X in here if necessary. The scatter plot above shows data collected on the lengths and widths of iris petals. A line of best fit for the data is also shown based on the line of best fit. If the width of an iris petal is 19 millimeters, meaning that I can use my X here to figure out where 19 would be, which would be, let's say it's approximately here. I slide up. It's going to be somewhere within this range according to my line of best fit. And it says, what is the predicted length in millimeters of the petal? So I have 2 options. I can either plug my 19 into this equation, which would take far longer if I were going to multiply everything out and do the math, or I can look for something within an answer choice within this range. So between 50 to 55, let me look at my answers. I'm going to slide down very quickly just to make sure. And yes, so C is going to be your best possible answer for question number 4. So 4 is C. Question number 5. In the figure above, lines L and M are parallel. So this L and this line here, M, are going to be parallel. Y equals 20. Here's Y. Z equals 60. And X, we do not know. So we're trying to solve the value for X. Well, what is the relationship here of this angle to Y? They are actually the same. So I know that according to L and M being parallel, I know that then Y plus Z plus X is going to be equal to 180 degrees. If I know that those 3 angles together equal to 180, then Y plus Z, so Y plus Z is going to be 80. That means that the difference here of 80 plus X equals 180. If I were to subtract 80 from both sides, I would then solve for X, and X would be 100. So B is going to be the best answer to number 5. Okay, question 6, there's a lot of information, so I'm going to attempt to decipher as I'm reading through. 2 types of tickets were sold for a concert held in amphitheater. Tickets to sit on a bench during the cost of $75. So here I have 75B. And tickets to sit on the lawn during the concert cost $40 each. So here I have 40L. Organizers of the event announced that 350 tickets sold total. So that is my B plus L equals 350. That's my total amount of tickets for bench and lawn seats. And that both of those tickets together had sold for 19,250. So these values then added together is going to be 19,250. And which of the following systems of equations could be used to find the number of tickets for bench seats, B, and the number of tickets for lawn seats, L, that were sold for the concert? For answer choice A, I see here that they have the wrong value. For 40B plus 75L equals 19,250, and then, well, it seems here that they're mixing up the variables, so it's not going to be B. 75B plus 40, well, here they're mixing up the quantities, so it's not going to be C. 75B plus 40L, 19,000, yes, it's going to be D. Okay. Question 7, in the xy plane, the graph of the following equations is a line of a slope of 3, so my slope being my y equals mx plus b. I'm looking for the value that goes here, being 3 over 1, and C is going to be my best answer for question number 7. In 8, I'm giving an expression here in the equation above, which of the following is a possible value of x plus 1. I would take both of these x's, or these x plus 1's, and I would attempt to do the cross multiplication. So then I would end up getting x plus 1 squared equals 2, and they want me to solve for what is x plus 1. So then I would want to put the radical over both in order to eliminate the square root. So then I get x plus 1 equals the square root of 2. So the B would be my best answer for number 8, or square root of 2. 9, what is the value of K in centimeters? I'm giving this description here, or this figure. It says volume equals 7 pi K to the third power over 48. The glass pictured above can hold a maximum volume of 473 cubic centimeters. Well, if I know that my maximum volume is 473 cubic centimeters, this equals 7 pi. Here's my K to the third power, which is what I'm going to end up solving for. Right? What is the value of K in centimeters? And then here I have 48. Well, I'm going to multiply 48 times 473. And 48 times 473 is going to end up giving me 22,704. I'm then now going to have my 7 pi K to the third power. And to save some time, I'm going to just take this value here, and I'm going to do 7 times 3.14, which is pi, and this is approximately going to be 22, or somewhere between 21 and 22. And the reason I'm doing that is because if I were to divide 7 pi by both of these, and instead, now if I replace this with the 7 pi, knowing that the 7 times the 3.14 equals 22, well, now what I'm able to do is just 22,704 divided by 22 approximately. And that is going to end up giving me little over 1,000. So what I basically did was I did 22,704 divided by 22. And I know that 22,000 divided by 22 is going to be right around 1,000. So then 22,704 divided by 22 is going to be a little bit greater than 1,000. Why did I do that? Well, K to the third power is going to be greater than 1,000. So I know that my answer is going to be D, which is 10. Remember, I don't have a calculator, so I'm attempting to solve this in best estimation possible. So 10 times 10 times 10 equals 1,000. If I know that my answer in itself is going to be greater than 1,000, right, for this value, then D is the best possible answer for number 9. For question 10, water pours into the glass slowly and at a constant rate. Which of the following graphs best illustrates the height of the water level in the glass as it fills? Well, it goes up initially and then it begins to spread out. So it goes up quickly, then it begins to spread out, then it begins to level off. So I'm going to find something that does that. C does do that. You'll see that it goes up quickly, begins to kind of level out, and then continues to level out, or doesn't increase as fast. So C is your best answer to question number 10.